21 years of TRS, it's been a long journey and new aspects and prospects coming up for the party. To answer these questions, I'm being joined by TRS Working President, Telangana Minister, Mr. K.T. Rama Rao. So, 21 years of TRS, it's been a long journey for you as well. First, let's talk about the learnings that have come in your life throughout the way.
Well, like any person, any institution, we all continue to evolve, we all continue to learn, we all continue to grow. And TRS, in fact, is on the brink of adulthood, if you ask me, because we are turning 21, we are majoring. So I think we'll continue to grow and we'll continue to emerge as a major force in the country and also the state. So hopefully we'll continue to receive the blessings of the people and continue to provide good governance.
So, you are a strong party here, no doubt about it. Everybody looks at you. Now, regionally you have established. When is that national plunge going to happen very soon?
Swastika, इस देश में कोई national party है ही नहीं. भाजपा या कांग्रेस दोनों भी मेरे हिसाब से थोड़े हमसे बड़े रीजनल पार्टी हैं और कुछ नहीं. तो when will we also become a national party in the true sense of national media, where you believe that only when you contest in other states and run for parliament we become a national party? I think time will answer that question. Our Honorable Chief Minister has made it more than clear, not on one occasion, but many, that the TRS will want to play a national role, but in what form or kab, I think time will answer, and our Honorable Chief Minister himself will answer at some point.
Okay, let's talk about Prashant Kishore. Hectic meetings. Since last 2 days, he was camping at the Chief Minister's office while negotiations are still on with the Congress. So, first, tell us what's brewing between TRS and Prashant Kishore, not IPAC.
Right. Firstly, let me tell you one thing. This is not the first time Mr. Prashant Kishore was here. He's been here several times. It's just that the media did not get wind of it. So, we have met him several times. He remains a friend. I'm sure he'll continue to remain a friend. So, therefore, there's nothing new or nothing, exaggerated about it as is being made out in the media. But I'll tell you one thing. The institution that we are working with is IPAC, which has got no connection to Prashant now. While he may have been the founder of IPAC in the past, he's got no connection to it right now.
So Prashant Kishore's whether political career is going to join the grand old party is a hypothetical situation at the moment. But in case he does, what happens to the power equation here? You told me that, yes, IPAC, you're working as individually. But Mr. Prashant Kishore is IPAC in a way. What is IPAC without Prashant Kishore?
Well, I can't answer that question. I'm neither the spokesperson for IPAC nor the spokesperson for Mr. Prashant Kishore. I think you would be better served by asking them, either of them, the question.
Okay, sir. On that note, Mr. Prashant Kishore is also perhaps being roped in a larger role to bring in a lot of regional parties together, and TRS is of course in the league, as we're given to understand. Now, should there be a proposal where he comes up with a proposal that TRS should ally with Congress, would you consider that possibility?
Firstly, he hasn't joined Congress. Like you said, it's hypothetical.
But in case...
That's what I'm saying. Secondly, again, hypothesis पे एक और hypothesis बिठा के एक और question आप पूछ रही हो, तो मैं कैसे जवाब दूँ उसका? Hypothetical questions का, imaginary questions का, imaginary situation का मैं अभी कैसे जवाब दूँ, कैसे समाधान दूँ?
But he has done presentation in front of Sonia Gandhi, where one of the things he came up with is the fact that since there seems to be a vacuum left by the Congress, and you yourself have said that Congress is weaning away. So do you think the regional parties should now come together, and when is that happening?
See, Congress as a party, in fact, has lost its relevance in Indian politics, is what I firmly believe. Congress is a redundant institution because the people of this country have been extremely generous with Congress. Over the last 75 years, they have given the Congress party more than 50 years to govern this great nation. But since Congress has failed, BJP has come now, and BJP also doesn't seem to have delivered much. So therefore, my humble request to you is, please don't belittle us. Congress is also nothing but a slightly larger regional party. So therefore, at this point in time, I would simply say that wherever the Congress, in fact, has contested on its own against the BJP looks invincible and infallible. But the fact is, wherever there is a credible alternative in the form of a strong regional party, the BJP could not make inroads. So therefore, I believe that in today's India, in today's political landscape, Prime Minister Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party both are hoping against hope that Congress and Rahul Gandhi ji will continue, so that they can continue their winning spree. I would only humbly request you and my friends from media also that do not undermine the efforts of the regional players who have been able to checkmate BJP in various parts of the country. How this will pan out, how this will emerge, and what will emerge in days to come. I think we have still 2 more years to go for a next national election. By that time, that is enough time for us to actually come out with a strategy, hopefully.
In Telangana, let's talk about that. Paddy has been a big issue. You took the fight to Delhi. Now, we saw only the participation of Mr. Rakesh Tikayat. Have there been any kind of support coming in from other regional parties or other, let's say, non-BJP parties to your party over the issue?
I think some of the other political parties have supported us in Parliament when we were protesting. But the fact is, paddy as an issue remains a bigger issue for Telangana because our area under cultivation has increased by 119%. Odisha MP yesterday has written to the Prime Minister saying, this issue needs to be addressed. But the bigger problem here is Government of India's attitudes towards, Annadatas, the farming community of this country. They have come out with draconian laws, let the farmers protest for about 13 months and then conveniently apologized after 13 months, putting them to all kinds of hardships. Today, we need to ask ourselves the question. Honorable Prime Minister had made a categorical statement saying he will double the farmers' income by 2022. We are in 2022. I don't think the farmers' incomes have doubled. In fact, their troubles have doubled. So therefore, Prime Minister needs to answer the farming community कि किया क्या उन्होंने इस देश में. आज तेलंगाना ऐसी एक राज्य है जहाँ उन्नति हुई है, बढ़ती हुई है यहाँ की फार्मिंग की. उसको भी वो मदद नहीं देते हैं, एक नेशनल प्रोजेक्ट नहीं देते हैं. यहाँ अगर हम लोग 24 घंटा फ्री पावर देते हैं हमारे किसानों को, उससे भी उनको तकलीफ़ होती है. तो मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ हिंदुस्तान के किसान भाई से कि इस प्रधानमंत्री ने आपके लिए क्या किया, एक बार आप सोचें.
So one more allegation is that जब भी इलेक्शन नज़दीक आती है, we've seen that the TRS specifically starts talking about federal front. Of course, meetings have already begun. Chief Minister has gone and met Uddhav Thackeray. You've also gone, and then Mr. Stalin as well. Now, how do you counter this allegation? कि जब election आती है तभी TRS decides to talk about federal front, talks about regional fronts coming together, forming a force to take on the central government, which in this case is the Modi government.
इसमें allegation ही क्या है? हमने कोशिश की थी 2018,
They're saying
2017
there is a
में.
specific timeline.
तो वही कह रहे हैं, 2017-18 में हमने कोशिश की थी, हुआ नहीं. उसमें कोई छुपाने वाली बात तो है नहीं. अब 2024 की जब बात होती है तो क्या उभर के आएगा, किस रूप में आएगा, मैं तो कोई जोश नहीं हूँ, अभी तो आपको बता नहीं सकता. बट ज़रूर इतना कहूँगा कि जो आज तेलंगाना में हमने किया, TRS ने किया पिछले 6.5-7 सालों में, जो विकास हमने दिखाया, जो हमने घर घर को पानी दे के 3 सालों में दिखाया, जो बिजली की समस्या थी 60 साल वाली उसको हमने सॉल्व करके दिखाया, जो दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी प्रोजेक्ट है कालेश्वरम लिफ्ट इरिगेशन जिसको हमने 3 साल में कंप्लीट किया, इस सारी ही चीज़ों के बारे में हम हिंदुस्तान के सामने रखेंगे. कहेंगे कि आप सोचिए, जो गुजरात की मॉडल एक विकास का नमूना जो उन्होंने बताया था 2014 में, जो एक रंगीन सपना उन्होंने दिखाया था, वो क्या उतर के आया, वो क्या रियलाइज़ हुआ कि जो तेलंगाना में 6 साल 7.5 साल में जो यहाँ देखने को आपको मिलता है, अगर एक छोटी राज्य तेलंगाना कर सकती है तो पूरा हिंदुस्तान में एक क्यों नहीं हो सकता. इस बात पे चर्चा करेंगे और उम्मीद है, क्योंकि उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है, उम्मीद है कि हम इस देश के जो हमारे भाई है और बहन है उनको सोचने पे मजबूर करेंगे.
So when are you going to do this? After 2023?
Well, the soonest
Because
possible.
that's the question that everybody is asking. 2014 we had this discussion, 2019 we had this discussion, we are having it now. Where is that timeline?
I would also request you of one thing, if you actually can showcase good work being done by states like Telangana, I think it would help set the narrative. But unfortunately in our country at this point in time, the media also, not just you but everybody, seems to be harping on inconsequential things of no consequence to the common man. The inflation is at its highest in 30 years. Unemployment is at its highest in 45 years. But we don't want to talk about it. Unfortunately, the issues that are taking center stage are inconsequential to the common man. Parties like TRS, which have delivered well, unfortunately, if only our good work is being showcased by media, maybe the people of country also will rally around with us.
Local BJP is saying that you're possibly going to join hands with the Congress.
Well, people will say a lot of things, but one thing I'll tell you, I have said it again, I've said it in the past, I'll say it again. Congress is a redundant institution. So where is the question of joining them?
Okay. Back home, who's your rival? Who is your main challenger? BJP or Congress? MIM, I know you have said MIM many times.
That is for the people to decide, but in my humble opinion, I think the current political standing in the state assembly is one where MIM is our principal opposition. So it's not a hyperbole or an exaggeration if I say that the same numbers might actually repeat.
But MIM and TRS are friendly parties.
They support us. That doesn't make you... See, if we have supported BJP on several occasions in Parliament, Congress has also supported BJP on several occasions in Parliament, does that make them friends?
How do you see the BJP in the state?
The BJP is a hopeless party, and I think they'll continue to remain hopeless.
And last question, lot of things happening over Hanuman Chalisa Rao, and then you had hijab and halal issues. What is your overall assessment of these things? Where do you think, why is that the TRS never takes a stand on these things?
Well, our stand is very clear. I think communalism is a much, much dangerous virus than corona. That's what our stand is.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure speaking to you.